2023 was my first year, and it was a real eye-opener into the standard of cricket that obviously university cricket is. It was awesome to win that year, and the spirits were so high after that. So when 2024 came around, it was tough. We were hard done to by the weather. We had a lot of games called off, a lot of games where the pitches were awful, so it was like 140 was par. So it was really important for us to sort of remove that year.
Last year was obviously so tough, the season. We started off so well, won some big games, again, against Cardiff Uni. And then we lost, two crucial games versus Oxford and Exeter. And it was a tough year to be a part of, knowing we had a great chance. The team we had last year was quality as well. So we had a great chance last year, but we had a good opportunity moving into this year.
Yeah, so first game of the season against Exeter, a game that we actually lost the year before, so 23-24, we actually lost to Exeter in that game. They're a very, very good unit, Exeter University, got a strong programme. First game of the season is probably not what you want to start with. Yeah, rain-affected game. I thought that we were probably a little bit undercooked in terms of preparation. We knew that the Exeter team was always going to be good. They brought 2 coaches, they had a proper setup in place, so we could tell from the start that was going to be probably one of the tougher games for us to start. In terms of how the game went, I thought we were excellent. We performed really well with the ball. Obviously had a struggle with the bat early on. Jude's I wouldn't say was chanceless by any means, but Jude did get us back into that game, and we set quite a good total. Scored 200 in a 35 over reduced game was actually something quite impressive on that deck, because it wasn't the best deck, short boundary, but the deck was pretty hard to bat on, and the way that Mason and Bavia came out in the second innings and took 4 early wickets meant that we were pretty much always in that chase, and Charlie Charland, who's an excellent cricketer for Exeter, did kind of bring it back for them for a short while, but I thought that we performed admirably in a game which could have been a really tough game to start the season off. So yeah, really impressed with how we started, and kind of great way to kind of put that first team group together with a few debutants, and I thought that we really performed. Yeah, won't forget the Surrey game in a long time. That was a horrible drive to Surrey. It took us just under 4 and a bit hours to get there. Always a tough one when we're having to travel on the day. Like getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning on a BUCS Wednesday is not what you want to be doing. Travelling all that way to then try and prepare correctly for the game and put ourselves in the best possible chance of winning games of cricket when you're having to travel nearly half the day just to get to a game, before then having to perform for 7 to 8 hours, before then another 4-hour drive back, becomes quite tiring for the group, but also for us as coaches, and the way that we set our expectations and aspirations for the season. So yeah, that was really hard work, and yeah, it was boiling that day as well, so it really did sap the energy out of the players, and I thought that we were brilliant in what we went about and did our job. So yeah, to bat first there at Normandy on what was probably quite a suspect pitch, because we'd had a few messages from a few alumni actually prior to the game to say that Normandy wasn't a bat first pitch, and surprised if we would get anything above 180, 200. So to go there and get 337 with unbelievable performances from Josh and Campbell, to name just 2, and obviously plenty of other boys chipped in that day.
To make runs in a BUCS game like that is so important for anyone, and it really does boost your confidence, and that's exactly what it did to me, and made me back myself even more. When you back yourself and your confidence up, you'll play your best cricket. So.
And then yeah, to turn that round in the second innings and kind of almost finish the game off in the first 10 overs. And we knew then at that point Surrey weren't going to chase the total, and they didn't actually look like wanting to chase the total. I appreciate from their perspective they wanted to kind of maintain a run rate and frustrate us, but the boys were admirable in terms of being patient all day. Chuggy especially, both stump to stump, we did a really good job of kind of almost fading that game out, and we always talk about it at Cardiff Met Cricket, like the first 2 games of the season are probably the first 2 ones. We always set aspirations, win 2 games. If you win your first 2 games, then we can kind of almost write off any sort of issues around relegation, or if we can write off any issues around staying in that league, because ultimately the BUCS Premier League is a tough league to play in, week out, year to year. So that was our first aspiration, so to win that game away kind of set us up nicely then for what was to come.
I'm Soorya. I'm a bowling all-rounder for Cardiff Met Cricket. I was born and raised in America, lived there all my life. I think I first started playing cricket around the 2011 World Cup. I was watching it and I was like, wow, this is such a weird sport. And I was just so interested because my dad was like playing cricket around that time and I used to go watch his games. So I just told my dad, I was like, oh, I want to start playing cricket. And then at that time there was like literally like no cricket facilities, nothing. I think I had to join like a small club. It was run in like some warehouse. It was really sketchy. But yeah, it was quite interesting.
So yeah, we were actually made aware of Soorya's intention to come to Cardiff Met through TikTok. Actually, he indicated that he'd seen some of our TikTok posts that had been made. One of our then committee decided that we needed to get onto TikTok. As somebody myself, I wasn't really aware of the social media account that we were looking to do, and I remember him reaching out to myself, and he actually flew over to the UK just prior to starting his first year, and I met Soorya and both him and his dad. And they obviously indicated how much that Soorya had been interested in wanting to play cricket in the UK and had saw Cardiff Met as his best option due to how we had kind of advertised ourselves as a group of people, and he wanted to take that opportunity. And yeah, all throughout this season, he wasn't picked for the first couple of games where we felt like we had strength and depth in our bowling unit. But we knew that the second that we called upon him, that he would then give us exactly what he wanted to, and he is a character that gives absolutely everything to Cardiff Met, and you can see that in the way that he goes about his business.
I think, yeah, not making the starting 11 the first 2 games was quite tough, but I just knew that if I just put the effort in off the pitch and then showed the coaches and my teammates that, look, I can actually play here, that I'll make it soon. I mean, before that, I was in kind of a slump. So just getting out there and then getting a wicket was a big relief. Just shows like what my hard work was building towards.
Our aspiration as Cardiff Met is to play our brand of cricket and to give our players freedom to go out there and express themselves and play as a team. We don't change things for specific games. Obviously conditions of the pitch and stuff like that will always play a factor, and we'll choose our team appropriately where we have some indication of what we expect to happen on the day. But no, preparations, we've stayed the same in terms of what we aspire to do. And at that point of the season, obviously being 3-3, we knew that this was going to be a big game because Cardiff Uni, to that point, were also playing really well, and I think had won all their games up to that point.
Soorya has been so important for us. He has that special ability to take wickets whenever you need. So as a captain, it was whenever things were up, whenever we needed a wicket or they were piling on runs, I knew I could turn to Soorya and he would make something happen. And I don't know why, but he always does. He always makes something happen, and that's a credit to him. And he was such a good player to have in our team as a bowler. Obviously being left armour, he offers something different. So yeah, credit to him.
And Cardiff University, every year that we've played them over the last 5-6 years, have always been probably our toughest rivals. They're a great setup. They've got a really good bunch of cricketers, but to beat them is always satisfying, but mostly because we want to win as many games as cricket as we can.
It's good. It's good to have like healthy competition nearby and then a rivalry, but like it's not really a rivalry because they really haven't won in the past 7 years. But yeah.
Yeah. So again, don't want to get boring on this one, but another really early start for us as a group to travel all the way to Southampton to play a game of cricket, which takes 8 hours and 3.5 hours either side of driving. Yeah, it really does take it out of you. So we knew again this was going to be a tough one. We actually started the game at 10:45, which shows you, or 10:30 even, which shows you how early we would have been at the ground at Solent to prepare and get ourselves ready. It's unlike anything else. It's not like you're 20 minutes down the road or you're having an overnight stay so you can get up refreshed in the morning. Travelling down on the day of a game is absolutely solid for us as a group. And again, the boys were unbelievable in terms of their performance. So to score 328 that day on another baking day on a used pitch, we thought that again, par for us was probably going to be around 220. To get to 328 and set ourselves up for what would have been a difficult run chase was excellent. And our boys were admirable again. Obviously, noting Sammy and AP is the fact that unfortunately prior to the game we had essentially dropped both players because of their performances up to that point in the season, and with players coming back available from the UCC we felt like we needed to make some changes. Whilst we were winning games, we didn't feel like we were performing particularly well with the bat, and we'd shown that by having a couple of collapses. So we actually dropped both AP and Sammy, and then it transpired that the UCC changed their fixture last minute, which meant we had to bring both players back in. So to have to bring them both back into the game and then them both perform so admirably to get 90 odd each shows again their willingness to put selection issues aside and go out there and do what they can for Cardiff Met, not as individuals. Shows why we do what we do. And again, yeah, Jude, it's innovative, it's different, and he did his job in that sense, and we frustrated the stolen players by the end of the game, and there was a little bit of petulance on their side, and again a lot of chat, a lot of abuse. I remember vividly at the end of the game coming off and saying it's the worst innings that he's ever umpired in terms of taking abuse from the Solent players. And again, that's the nature of BUCS cricket. When it comes to men's cricket, you're going to have two teams who are out there to win at all costs, and they're going to give each other a lot of talk in order to try and take the psychological element of the game into play, and we saw that. But again, a successful game for us and a successful season to that point. Yeah, so we always know that playing in a national semi-final, home advantage is vital, and we have been to plenty of games where we've been away, and it is vociferous. The crowd is on top of you. They're calling you all sorts of names, and they're giving you absolutely everything. And that's the whole point of winning the games that you do in the BUCS League, to get yourself into a position where you take a home semi-final, and the home advantage plays dividends when it comes to it. We had brilliant support that day. The players from the club and other people came out in force to try and support our players to win the game of cricket that we wanted to, and they were loud all day, which is exactly what you'd expect from a crowd of students supporting their student friends to play games of cricket. In terms of the game, yeah, I thought that we were probably under par. It was a difficult wicket, but a national semi-final is a national semi-final, and plenty of teams have fallen short over the years in national semi-finals when the pressure's on. So we knew that batting first, setting a total, and then trying to defend that would probably be our best option. And again, Barnsley batted brilliantly that day and really took us to a score that probably brought us back into it. We could have been out for a lot less, but I thought that the boys were admirable again with the bat.
I hate talking about Alfie Cutmore, but to be fair to him, when he had our fans behind his back and running down the slope shot, it was awesome for us. It was so good to see him in good play, and he really is. He's a special bowler when he's in full flow, to be fair to him. And yeah, I was real pleased to see him do that, and obviously it was a vital spell for us against a big team. I
thought we were just slightly the better team in the end, because pressure does funny things to people when it comes down to winning games of cricket, and Soorya taking that final wicket to have those scenes of all our fans being able to celebrate with their friends on the side of the pitch was a big moment.
Couple of things then, boys. So for tomorrow, just aspirationally, that was great from us today. Really nice to see you all out here today playing, getting through stuff, making sure that you're feeling 100% for tomorrow. Take every opportunity now, boys. Just take every opportunity that guides its way your way, okay? Take it and really mean it. Like, go home now, really focus on what you're trying to do. Take your own way of picking up what you need to pick up as a cricketer, as a person, so you feel comfortable going in tomorrow. Lovely.
We obviously wanted to bat first as well. Newport's definitely a bat first sort of wicket, and yeah, when we're sent into bowl, you can't really do anything. and you just got to focus on bowling your best ball, setting your right fields, fielding well, and hopefully chase a nice low target.
You are a group of mates. That is the #1 thing that everybody else hasn't got in this league. You are a group of friends. Okay? This is the best place you could ever be. Go out and enjoy it and give everything. Come off that pitch in 7-8 hours time with nothing else to spare. Okay? Okay. 7 minutes. 7 minutes.
No, we didn't want to chase on that day because we knew the pressure would be on. The bowlers were admirable again, excellent in terms of how they went about their business. I thought we were brilliant as a unit, again, against all of the odds, I guess, without having any support group there from anybody from the university or from the student union, to be a group of students and a number of volunteer coaches to have to go into that atmosphere and just try and compose ourselves and do what we could do. I thought the boys just were, again, acquitted themselves brilliantly as a group.
Wadey, he was always going to be big taking his wicket. There's been a bit of a chat between him and a few of our players, I believe, on some WhatsApp chats or something like that. So it was always nice to see the back of him nice and early, and fair play to Cutmore for doing that.
Yeah, it's just amazing. Like, you know, taking a wicket in the final, that's what a lot of players dream of. And so yeah, I was just really excited, and then I was just pumped after that.
We started off brilliantly with the ball. We didn't give much away. We put the pressure right back on Cardiff Uni, and I was happy to get a wicket up top and then come back in my final spell and get the 2 set batters out. I think that I was very happy with. And yeah, I mean, that we just took wickets at regular intervals, didn't really let them off, you know, with a big score, and yeah, I was quite happy with that.
Short! Short!
Yeah, obviously as a batsman's job, your job is to score runs, especially in a massive game, probably one of the biggest games of my career. But it's cricket, and unfortunately it just wasn't meant to be on that day.
And then yeah, we made some really difficult decisions ahead of the national final. We were unfortunately in a position where we felt that we needed to make some changes to the team, to bring in Tom Kosh, who hadn't played that season due to injury, to come in and take the gloves and add some depth to our batting.
I was very surprised to see myself play. Just got that message from Geth on the Tuesday night, sorry, before the Wednesday, just saying, you know, you're in the team, well done. And it was, you know, as surprised as anyone. Went home and told everyone I was so excited. Wow, walked out to bat. I've talked to Geth and Doyler and Barnsley about how I'm going to go about batting. They said don't change, so I just went out and played my game. You know, first ball, tried to sweep the Ben Lucking, hit me on the pad, luckily given it out. But yeah, just kept going the way I was going. Just tried to get through, lost a couple of wickets, I lost Sammy at the other end. So batted with Vinny at the end. He batted superbly with me. But yeah, we just had to get through a tough phase. The seamers came on, they knew I didn't like facing the seam. So they just bombarded me with pace bowling, managed to get through it, and then yeah, just get a spin, just did what I normally did, and just swept it.
Obviously watching him bat, when he starts sweeping and ramping, you know everything's good, and he's seeing it well. So obviously there was a lot of nerves around, but I had full confidence in him, and he did unbelievably well for us, and really stated why he should be picked in that team. So fair play to him.
Hitting Samsung for the winning runs was a great feeling. It was really weird because obviously got myself so absorbed in the game, so involved, and mentally I hadn't even clocked, you know, their fans for a last period of the game. I hadn't even, you know, clocked our balcony either. So I was just so in the moment. And then when I hit that run, turned for the 2, ran back through, and it all just hit me all at once. Looking ahead, cheering, Geth was there, and then and all the fans were, all the players were running on. It was a great feeling. I don't think I'll ever have anything like that again.
was just an amazing feeling, like winning my first BUCS title. I just wish I could relive that moment again.
That moment will be I'll remember that for a long, long time. I think that was probably one of my proudest moments. But I always said to Geth and the support staff that captaining that team was the easiest thing I've ever done, just because of the standard of players we had. But no, it was so important, and I'll remember that for the rest of my life probably.